Today we're going to be taking a look at Psycheo's only MVS release, Strikers 1945 Plus. Now, the first thing you might want to know is that this actually isn't an entirely new game, but rather sort of a remake, if you will, of Strikers 1945 2, which was released on the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn around 1997, and was also obviously an arcade hit. So the big difference with this particular version is that it was reworked obviously for the MVS hardware, but mainly that it was reworked so that it could play on a horizontal screen instead of the vertical one that the previous game was released on. It remains a vertical scrolling shmup though. So one of the best features with this game is basically the variety. Not only are there 6 selectable airplanes right off the bat, but there's also a 7th one that pops up if you select the randomizer. Each craft has its own particular strengths and weaknesses, and the game itself cycles through the first 4 levels randomly, meaning the game almost always feels different every time you pick it up to play. The last 4 stages play out in a certain order, but the variety offered by the different crafts and the earlier portions of the game really make the game feel special. It also features rock-solid gameplay. Each aircraft has a basic shot which fires directly in front of the craft, but it's the super shot that makes each plane really special. In order to gain a super shot, you have to destroy enemies, or it goes through a period of time. I've never quite figured it out, but it's the meter on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen that you see there. Once the meter fills up, it's basically time to unleash hell. And you can actually stock your super shots for the bosses, which is really cool. And these are completely different depending on which aircraft you have. Obviously, the more powerful the super shot, the longer it's going to take to charge. And bombs work kind of interesting here. Instead of destroying everything on screen, they act sort of like a defensive shield-like move. Each plane has its own unique, special or move or whatever, but these typically range from like a large aircraft that'll fly out in front of you for a short period of time, which absorbs enemy fire, to other things where it's just like a quick sort of almost like a rocket that just shoots right in front of you. But again, it's mainly used for defensive purposes so that you just sort of get a breather from all the enemy bullets coming your way. There's also plenty of awesome power-ups to make you a force to be reckoned with. Overall, there's just tons and tons of replay value because of the nature of the game. The fact that you've got the first couple levels that randomly pop up, and the fact that you have so many different aircrafts that control so differently. I should also mention that I really enjoyed the audio. The game features a great soundtrack, wonderful use of special effects, and just, this is what an arcade game is supposed to sound like. It's really boom in your face, and I really like that. However, not everything is good with the audio-visual presentation. For example, the visuals themselves leave a lot to be desired. They're very dark, and for the most part, they lack the high quality most people come to expect from the Neo Geo hardware. That's not to say that they're ugly, they just don't really have as much life in them as you would expect. And there's also a lot of dark greens and browns, and, basically it looks like a modern day shooter. Okay, never mind, I won't go there. I also found the overall level design was a little bit dull. It's just, I don't know, they just feel very basic, and they flow from one level to the next level, almost like, I didn't realize I was playing another level. And of course, the worst feature with any MVS exclusive has to be the price. If you're looking for a full kit, expect to pay around $500. If you're looking for a loose cart, probably $150 to $200. Overall, personally, this isn't my favorite shmup on the Neo Geo hardware. However, it is a damn good one, and it really is a lot of fun to play, especially given all the different variety. For the full written review, hit up projectcoe.com.
do, do, do.